Hey there everybody, Professor Cloud here with our next episode of Professor Builds a Satisfactory. We have started the rebuild, the efficiency build, whatever you want to call it, of the computer facility. We now have complete efficiency for basic parts needed to build out circuit boards, and we have started to now put that together, and now we'll start to think about the actual computer production and how the circuit boards feed into that. We also need to worry about high-speed connectors, then rolling into supercomputers, and then we can move all of that over into the steel production facility that's going to create the more advanced things like adaptive control units, automated wiring, advanced director systems, and so on. So let's go ahead and jump back in. We also have a milestone to finish, so I'm going to go in between now and when you see me next. I'm going to be doing some running around to gather some materials so we can make sure to get turbo motors completed. So let's jump back in. Okay, here we are back at the hub, and I just ran a bunch of things around. Unfortunately, I didn't do a very good job, to be completely honest. I went and grabbed a whole bunch of aluminum casings to bring back, and I took all of them over for fused modular frames when I actually still needed some for radio control units. But, you know, that's okay. It is what it is. I'll just have to go get more. I also, though, found another problem over at the facility, the aluminum facility where the heat sinks are being produced. Apparently, I had forgotten to connect power up to the awesome sink that's there to suck in the packaged aluminum solution, and as such, the heat sinks had stopped producing. Therefore, cooling systems had stopped producing. So I was only able to get, I think it was 58 cooling systems, and I don't think that's going to be enough for turbo motors, but we'll have to wait and see. In any case, as I was going back and forth to the facility where the fused modular frames are being produced, in other words, where nitrogen is coming up, I actually noticed another problem. Since we've turned on the steel facility, the amount of coal that we're producing for both the coal power as well as then to use in the steel facility is not enough. So we're going to have to upgrade those two Mark II miners to Mark IIIs in order to make sure that we've got a good flow of coal. Or we get rid of, at a minimum, 4 of the coal power facilities, or coal power generators, and then move more coal power over to where the crystal oscillators are being produced. And I think that's actually the better way to go. The reason I say that is because the specific coal power that I'm referring to are running off of impure veins. And there's really no good reason to continue using them for power anymore if I can switch them over to better veins, whether they're normal or pure or what have you. So, unfortunately, instead of spending time continuing on our computer facility, we're going to be doing some of this kind of fix-it stuff while the turbo motors are finishing and things like that. So, let's go take a look at exactly what I'm referring to. I will need to make sure that I have a couple of portable miners. So, let's get those in place. Okay, so there's that. Then let's make sure to add to our to-do list the 2 Mark IIIs. I'm not worried about the portable miners because you'll get 2 back from scrapping the original. Oh, you need modular frames, really? And then 6 turbo motors. Okay. Supercomputers we can go and grab. Alright, so let me do... and then that. Okay, so there's my 6. We need another 50 turbo motors for the milestone. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go make a trip back to grab turbo motors. We need 10. That will not be a problem. I actually have the 20 fused modular frames. I don't like having to use them for this. And actually, I'm not going to do 2 Mark IIIs. I think I only need to do 1. It's probably better to do 2. What this is going to allow us to do is get rid of 8 of the coal power generators. We'll replace those by putting them over at the crystal facility, and the crystal facility is actually going to have 2 sets of 8. Okay, so I have this to put away. Alright, I don't remember how to do this. Oh, here we go. Alright, I said I need 10. Right? Cool. Mm-hmm. So when I went to go pick up aluminum casings, after having made the changes that I showed you all in the last episode, we're now making continuously about 1,600 per episode, which isn't bad. Not bad. I mean, it could be better, but it's not bad. Ah, crap. So it's this set of 4 right there that are, as you can see, 2 of the generators are in red, and it's because they're just not getting enough continuous coal. Let me grab the fused modular frames. Oops. I'm just hurting myself all over the place. Alright, so I'm going to split this and take the 25. Okay, and actually, I'm going to go grab that so that I can use it to make sure that we can get turbo motors. I really want to get turbo motors completed, the 50 that we need. Because I want to move on from this milestone so that we can start. Because the problem that I have, and this is just a personal problem, is I don't like not being able to plan for things. And right now, I can't plan for the Phase 5 items because we don't have the recipes unlocked. Okay, here's what we are going to do. This one is feeding primarily into here. Mark III. Alright, where was the power coming from? Oh, right there. And there we go. Alright, so that's one Mark III. And then the other Mark III would be this one over here, which, as you can see, is feeding both that container that's being used for power as well as the truck that's delivering to the steel facility. So what I really am trying to accomplish here is I want to get rid of this and have this one just feed here. So I'm thinking that this 120 per minute that we're now producing with the Mark III should be enough to do that. And I like that continuous flow. Then we can worry about because I don't want to turn off this power without there being a replacement for it. So I would rather go ahead and stand up the 8 off of the first vein over at the crystal facility first, get that up and running, make sure that it's connected to the grid, then we can start to tear this down. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a Mark III here. Not facing that way, we don't. And then 2. I always forget to connect up the power for some reason. And it's staying pretty even. And that's because it's taking out 260s. Again, this is going to go away, so this is temporary. I don't need to worry about this filling up. Okay, so we get rid of that. And that. And then we still need the splitter in order to feed both the fuel and the storage of the truck depot. Okay. Alright, so that solves a short-term problem that we can very easily resolve by moving the power facility here. In addition, we need to really have a place, and I think right here is that perfect place for the particle accelerator, and actually have the particle accelerator sitting in a good solid location to be used. So if I can get rid of one-to-many of these coal generators and move them over, then I can move the particle accelerator and whatever that thing is over there, I can't remember the name of it now, the converter, over to here and give this, make this space a little bit cleaner looking. Okay, so now that this is done, I am going to come back up here. We're going to set up the necessary materials that we need, make sure that we have the necessary materials for the creation of 8 coal generators over near the crystal facility. I'm almost positive the veins over at the crystal facility are normals. So we'll do Mark IIs there, producing 120, and that'll feed 2 belts of 60 to give us 4 generators each. We're going to need 4 portable miners for this. Okay. I also need to drop off these aluminum casings. Okay. We want 2. We want 1 Mark II miner, and then 8 coal generators. Water extractors. We need, I think it's going to be 4. Alright, we need some more rotors. Not a problem. They are right up here. They're right here. I didn't realize this was empty. I need to grab some stators if we're going to... Because I don't think we have... Well... Well, we've got 400, 450. Yeah, I'm going to need to grab some more stators from over at the other facility. Okay. I don't think I need anything else. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, let's go ahead over to the coal facility, or the crystal facility, excuse me. Do not understand why he's here. I really wish I understood the spawning triggers of the alien monsters, or whatever you want to call them. But we haven't been back over here since we got everything all set up and working. And we still haven't found the oil fields that are over here too. Oh shoot, I already had one here. I didn't even need to bring the portable miners. I'd completely forgotten that. Wonder how many crystal oscillators we've got. Really? Hold on a minute. Why is there no quartz crystal? That was the one thing that was already functional. Oh, shoot. Of course, this is slowing me down, actually. Did I do something really stupid? I did something really stupid. Really? Get back here, you little shit. Yep. I did something really, really stupid. Alright, so we're producing 240. We need 75, which means I can put a whole nother one in here. This needs to be set to quartz crystal. This is going to have to be a now Mark II. Yeah, I don't need these in here. Not if I've got two. Actually, I will put them, make them 150. There we go. And I think that's still too much. At some point, I may want to come back here. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed you into there. Okay, there we go. Alright. Stupid little problems. Just... Sorry, I didn't like it clipping through the ground like that. I was worried that that was going to eventually cause problems, so rather fix it now. Come on. Normally I don't grab these, but I killed so many. I don't want to lose out on the alien DNA. Okay, now we can actually work on what we came here to work on. Oh, for God's sakes. Stupid little things that I forget. Alright, I actually... Let's see, let's put you in there, and I'm going to put you in there. Alright. Now, where's the power tower? It's over there. So I'm going to want to put... Because the other coal vein... Well, there's a coal vein there and there. But the other coal vein I really want to use... is actually back there and feed it into the water here. That, or I just use this coal vein and feed the water this way. Or feed the coal this way. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start getting things set up. I'm going to need to clear the area. Okay, and then this I have to blow. Okay, we are good. Alright, so we've got coal coming from there, and I think this is a 120. Yes, excellent. So we're going to need to take coal here. It'll need to be split. I don't know why I just did that. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Yeah, I'm still going to need the power tower. I'm going to need a power tower over here in order to much... So I'm going to need to do water extractors, which I suppose I could run directly from the power tower. But eventually I'm going to want to run a power tower out to wherever those oil fields are anyway. And I think they were like this way. 800 meters or so. Or not meters, kilometers. Oh, meters. Yeah, so 719 that way. So directly behind that big rock structure. Okay, so we're going to need a total of 8. Alright. Let's start here and go across. Coal's coming in. Trying to figure out the best way to bring the coal in. What? What the? The game is moving my thing around. Okay, so we can take one set and run it along this route. So we'll do 4 this way. We've got limestone there if we ever need it. Right. Okay, so there's that 4. Which means that water could then go... Trying to figure out the best place to bring the water in from, because I want to make sure that we've got some depth. Probably out towards the center arch is what I'm thinking. So if I do... And then... like this. Actually. What I should have done was that. Because then I can run the pipe directly that way. Alright. So we will now build 2 water extractors. One this way. I don't know why this junction is sitting there so high. All right, we'll leave it at that for now. Because I still have to piece all of this together. And I think I'm still going to need probably that. Alright, and I'm going to get rid of this row. Because I know I want to do lifts for the coal and pipes for the actual water. I'm never going to use this limestone, so I'm just going to cover it. Okay, let's do... I need to give the lifts space. This is the last one in the line. So I can do that. That'll let me know where the junction can be. For some reason, there we go. Okay, good. Come on. And then this is the last one. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm going to... No, that's fine. We input... Whoa, why did... Alright, so we want to come from... here to there. How is this... Oh, never mind. I was like, how is this not straight? And it's not straight because of where I made the bend. That's actually my fault. Alright, let me see if I can actually make this better then. I want to see if I can do... Oops. that without clipping into the lift, and it looks like we're good. Okay. Alright, so you... And then... that... And then lastly... is that... Okay, so that connects that side. Let's get the power connected so that we can at least get these connected into the grid. And then we'll do the other 60, which will be over here somewhere. Actually, let me go ahead and put the first one down. Power. Alright, I think I'm going to have it run this way. Let me make sure I have enough space. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Yeah, so we can run the coal down here again with the lifts and bring the water in from this side. I'll have to put 2 water extractors, I guess, out that way to bring in the water. Alright, let's get the power connected to this side and figure out how the fuck I'm gonna do that. The power pole for that is over there. Sorry, I just happened to notice that something wasn't moving. Oh, never mind. It's the reinforced iron plates. It's because there's so many of them. Alright, we're good. Alright, so we have a power tower here. I don't want to put another power tower... but I'm going to have to anyway. Okay, you're standing a little cockeyed there, buddy. Okay, you're as long as you're good. Okay, that looks interesting. There's a nice little pathway to go from the beach, up this way, around this way, and then all the way over to there. I wonder what's up there. There's a waterfall falling from right up there. Okay, we're going to have to take an episode and explore a little more. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take... Actually, let's do it this way. I'm going to put a power tower there. It's a little short. Well, it's either that... I doubt that I can get a cable to run that long from there to there. Okay. Okay, so there's the coal production. Wow, I'm very surprised they allowed me to put that there. Let's try that again. Alright, I can't connect in the generators until coal is actually being produced. And then I'm going to want another Mark II there. And we're going to want a Mark I back here. Why is that there? I don't know. Okay. So before we connect up... Oh, that's interesting. This is a little strange. Before we connect up the generators themselves, I want to make sure that everyone is full of water and full of coal. So this one's the first one to get water. It's moving. It's not quite moving as fast as I would like. Let's see what the... 55.2. 55. Yeah, so 55, which is more than enough for 4 generators. So that's good. All right, that one's almost full. Once they're up and run, or once they're full, I'll feel perfectly fine. Like, for example, this one, oh, it's only got 9 pieces of coal in it. Ugh. And I'm starting to wonder now if I shouldn't have made everything Mark IIs. I did the belts in between as Mark IIs to try and get the ones at the end of the line a little bit faster, but... Okay, you're good. You I can go ahead and connect. And you I can connect. Yeah. You're full of water. Okay, I'm going to let you all collect a little bit more coal before I turn you on. Okay, so there's at least another 150 power. All right, let's go ahead and start working on the next set. Okay. Oh man, that's in the way. Yep, that's in the way. This is where I really wish they would let me move things. Okay. Not a fan of having to do that, but oh, now we gotta get water. There we go. Okay, and actually this, well, by doing that though, this does give me better ability for managing the coal. Yeah. We'll have it come in this way. Okay, good. What? Oh my god, I'm out of cable. Boy, I didn't see that one coming. I'm never out of cable. Wow. Definitely didn't see that coming. Am I producing cable here? I don't remember. I am, in fact. Yep. There we go. I'll just grab a little extra cable that way. I've got a storage unit of cable over where one of the copper powder facilities are being... and actually, we're going to have to do something about that anyway. We'll talk about that as soon as we're done with this. Okay, so there's coal. That's going to go ahead and run. Now, we need to set up... Yep, that'll work. Okay. I'll go ahead and connect these now. We don't have to worry about them later. This one, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So this one, I'm not going to be able to do that. You know what, screw it. I'm going to let it clip. And then I still need to do that. Okay. This might actually be a good spot. I'm trying to go off of the color of the water, and I want to make sure that there's enough depth. Like, if I can't see the floor very easily, then I think we're in good position. Otherwise, it's just a freaking guessing game. Let me go ahead and get the water powered up for here. Yeah, thought that might clip through the pole. I'm not going to change the pole, though. Not going to do that. Okay. Are these two now... They're at 79. Yeah. Alright, so these two we can get connected. There's another 150. Okay, you're full of coal. 29. Let's see what the water flow is. 39.1 max. 71.7. I hate their liquid dynamics. Yeah, so we've got more than enough water. That's not an issue. I think the biggest problem is probably this. Is splitting it, dropping it down to 39.1, which makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. But it is filling up, so... Alright, you're full. Let's take a look down here. All right, you're filling up very, very rapidly, and you're already full of coal. There we go. All right, let's connect you. That's 2 more. You're good. Okay. That is another 600 incoming power. Gross. Net, I'm not sure what it is. And if we wanted to, we could make it more, because this is a Mark II sitting on top of a normal vein. If we changed it to a Mark III, we could very easily put in a complete another 600. But no, this is good. This is excellent. So now we can get rid of one whole entire set of coal generators to make space for the particle accelerators and so on. So let's head back, because we've got some remaining things that I want to do for cleanup, and I want to see where we are with the turbo motors. So when I talk about cleanup, if you'll remember a couple of episodes ago, I had to create a new storage unit for the copper powder that's being produced over behind the computer facility, because one storage unit would only hold, the industrial storage unit would only hold, I think it was 20,000, and we need 200. I had looked while I was running around earlier, before I introed and got started, and noticed that the industrial storage unit just above the steel facility was very close to being full. So we're going to want to do the same exact thing again and set up another storage facility and move all of that over. Good, gets them out of my inventory. Yeah, so this is where we're storing the copper powder. Yep, and it's just about full. So we're going to need another storage unit. There's copper wire. Cables. There's the cable. Alright, so let me put one of those in there. And then this is extra copper plating and copper sheeting, sorry, and then quick wire. I don't really... How do I want to do this? Okay, here's what we're going to do. This. Alright, that's close enough. Actually, we'll go ahead and grab the remaining 5. There. Okay, so we've now got 40,000 guaranteed copper powder for the nuclear pasta. We need, as I said, 200,000. So, alright, so that's now accomplished. Now let's go down and check on turbo motors. and then we will wrap up the episode. What? Why is there still only 23? It's out of cooling systems. Son of a bitch. And this is back out of aluminum casings again. Alright, well, then we're not going to get this finished in this episode, unfortunately. I'll have to do another running around to pick up aluminum casings in between episodes next time, so that we can get that taken care of. Alright, one last thing I want to do, now that we've got that 800... or 600, sorry, 600 power. I want to take a look at the coal here. That one feeding into the truck depot is exactly what we want. But here's the thing. If I get rid of this power, what am I going to do with this coal vein? Yeah. What am I going to do with the coal vein? Actually, what I'm going to do with all 3 coal veins. Because I can't build any kind of a facility here because I don't have anything else that coal gets used with. Coal is almost exclusively being used for fuel. It gets used as part of aluminum, and it gets used as part of steel, and that's pretty much it. I'll have to think on that and look into it. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here, overlooking one of our many power facilities. And as always, if you are enjoying the content, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and comment button. And hopefully I will see you in a future episode. Talk to you soon.